What if I told you that Stellantis, the company behind the iconic brands like Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler, have found itself at the center of a labor battle that's shaking up the entire auto industry? Not only is the company embroiled in a tense standoff with the UAW here in the United States, but Stellantis is also facing strikes in Europe and legal battles on multiple fronts. From plant closures and layoffs to the government interventions and lawsuits, Stellantis is struggling to keep its head above water. So how did we get here? And what does it all mean for the future of Stellantis? It's starting to get to that time of the year where you need to make your dollar go a long way. Now, whether or not you need to buy your exhaust system, sticky Mickeys, catch cans, whatever, my friends at Drag Racing Wheels and Just Bolt-Ons have you covered. And with my discount code over here, Butter, that you can use to checkout, you can save up to an additional 15% off on your next order. So take advantage of this discount with my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com, where some of the best prices online for aftermarket parts just got a little bit better. With the UAW President Shawn Fain calling for the ousting of Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares, and now the White House is stepping in to urge Stellantis to honor its commitment to the workers, this is a story that could shape the future of the automotive industry as we know it. The situation between Stellantis and the UAW has reached a boiling point. Just recently, the UAW President Shawn Fain didn't hold back when he publicly called for the removal of Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares. According to a Yahoo News article, Fain's frustration is clear. He believes Stellantis is prioritizing profits over people. Plant closures, job cuts, and outsourcing are all part of the problem, and Fain is determined to fight on the behalf of the workers whose lives have been impacted. The tension has been building for some months now. Stellantis has shuttered multiple plants in North America, including the Belvidere assembly plant, leaving thousands upon thousands of workers in limbo. The company's refusal to fully commit and reopen these facilities has been a major sticking point in negotiations. Fain's message is very simple: enough is enough. He is calling for the UAW to stand firm and demand better treatment from the automaker. And it's not just the UAW taking action. The Italian auto workers have now joined the fight, launching strikes of their own in response to Stellantis' handling of labor disputes. Car Scoops reports that workers in Italy are walking out, expressing solidarity with the UAW and protesting against the broader mismanagement they say is coming from the top of the company. So it's not just an American problem, this is a global issue for Stellantis. The situation has gotten so bad that the White House is now stepping in. According to multiple sources, including Mopar Insiders and CBT News, the Biden administration is urging the Stellantis to honor its commitments to the UAW and the workers who have been affected by the plant closures and job cuts. The administration is concerned about these ripple effects these decisions could have on the broader economy, especially as the auto industry undergoes a massive transition towards electric vehicles that has been forced by the administration, which has caused a lot of these issues in the first place, which a lot of people don't want to admit, but that's basically the crap that's been going on, and they have some culpability in this nonsense. Now, the White House is reportedly in talks with both Stellantis and the UAW, trying to broker a deal that will keep jobs in America and ensure that Americans aren't left behind as the company looks to shift more production overseas, which doesn't really seem to be working because there already was a report that the Durango is moving to Canada. There's already a report that more trucks are moving production down to Mexico. And let's just say that a new Jeep Recon vehicle is not being built in America, it's being built in Canada, where the not UAW, but the Unifor used to make the Charger, the Challenger, and the Chrysler 300. Now, the stakes are high, with thousands of jobs on the line and the potential for more plant closures looming on the horizon. There was already a report out that Warren Truck had lost a shift and that they were basically getting rid of the Ram Classics, so they'll need more shifts for that. They're cutting back production on the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. You basically have shifts getting lost at Toledo, where they make the Wrangler and the Gladiator. You have shifts getting cut down for the Durango over at Mack Truck and JNAP. You have Shap having issues where they're not getting parts because of supplier issues going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that Stellantis is definitely 100% their fault. Stellantis has been trying to play hardball, and the government's intervention might not be enough to force the company's hand. Stellantis has repeatedly cited market conditions and profitability concerns as reasons for its cost-cutting measures, including the plant closures. Now, the UAW is not buying it. They argue that Stellantis is putting short-term profits ahead of long-term stability, and the workers are the ones paying the price. It seems as though that is Stellantis' main priority, is to get short-term profits, because I guess some of these people don't see them being here long enough. They're ready to cash out now rather than make sure the company is stable in the future. It almost seems as though they're trying to intentionally bankrupt this company over time, but get as much money in their pocket as possible, as this is kind of like a short-term investment with these companies. That just what it seems like to me. And as if the situation wasn't already complicated enough, Stellantis is now escalating the fight by filing new lawsuits against the UAW. Now, according to Reuters, Stellantis has filed multiple lawsuits claiming that the UAW strike tactics have crossed the line into unlawful territory. Now, Stellantis argues that the UAW demands are unreasonable and that the union's refusal to negotiate in good faith is harming the company's ability to operate. Honestly, if this was a problem, why did you sign those historic contracts last year, Stellantis? It doesn't really make any sense. If you wasn't going to fulfill those promises, literally, well, it hasn't even been a year yet since they signed a contract. But this is basically a bold move by Stellantis, and it's a clear sign that the company is willing to go to war with the UAW in court if necessary. These lawsuits are likely to drag out the labor dispute even further, making it harder for both sides to come to a resolution. And for Stellantis, it's about protecting their bottom line, but for the UAW, it's about standing up for the workers' rights and ensuring they are not left behind as the company moves forward with its restructuring plans. Which honestly, I don't know what the UAW was thinking, because I think every idiot in America knows an electric vehicle requires less parts to build. If you support the company's decision to make less vehicles that require less parts, then that means they don't need as many workers as possible to build those vehicles. And if your whole thing is to keep your memberships up, keep your numbers up to get your membership dues, because I think that's what Sean Fain likes the most, is having his membership dues come to him every month so he can live his $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 payroll he gets every year being the UAW president, then you would think that they'd be like, nah, we're not going along with this EV nonsense. We're going to keep toeing the line with products that we actually make, because Carlos Tavares has been saying for like the last 2 years that these EVs are like a 30% cost hike. They cost 30% more to make. So if I'm the UAW, I would have been like, yeah, that means these vehicles cost 30% more to make. That means they're going to cut at least 30% of the workforce to kind of balance that out and do more cost cutting. But just saying. But I mean, we can be real here. These legal battles are not going to solve the underlying issues with Stellantis. Now, Stellantis can sue the UAW all they want, but at the end of the day, the workers need to feel valued, and right now they sure enough do not. The lawsuits only serve to deepen the divide between Stellantis and its workforce, making it even harder to find common ground. All of this is happening at a time when Stellantis is also trying to navigate the massive shift towards electric vehicles. The company has been slow to embrace electrification compared to its competitors, and that's putting even more pressure on its leadership. Stellantis is facing an uphill battle as it tries to modernize its lineup with dealing with labor disputes, plant closures, legal battles, and now dealerships are pissed off too, with them sending a letter to Stellantis that they need to basically go back to bringing back more engines in vehicles because they don't like this EV nonsense. The UAW don't have the balls to tell Stellantis, we want to go back towards making vehicles with engines in them because that was where we were making money at. It literally took the dealerships getting pissed off that they were losing profit for them to find, like, hey, look, we want engines back in vehicles. We want vehicles that people want to drive, that people want to buy from us. If you're not going to produce that crap, you're costing us thousands upon thousands of dollars. So I give the dealerships a lot more credit than I do the UAW management, because at least the dealerships, the owners had a lot more balls to send Stellantis a letter saying that, hey, we are really your customer. We're the ones who sell your products. We're the ones who actually buy these vehicles from you. You guys seen, especially with TK's Garage showing some of these videos, how like a lot of dealerships are closing their stores from Stellantis products, and some of these dealerships are shifting their top GMs away from Stellantis products. And I mean, let's not forget that Stellantis also has been cost cutting wherever they can possible, right? They've cut down their own employees from their headquarters. They've fired executives and didn't even replace them. They brought in foreign engineers from other countries that don't know what the crap they're doing. So wherever possible, they are trying to cut costs, including just recently, they closed in the Arizona Proving Grounds, an essential facility for testing vehicle new technology, especially in extreme weather. This is all part of the company's broader plan to trim expenses and focus on profitability, but it also raises questions about whether Stellantis can keep up with competitors like GM, Ford, Tesla, Hyundai, Kia, all these other guys who are coming to the market with vehicles, dare I say, have way better quality than them, way more features than them at a cheaper price. These guys are all moving full steam ahead into the EV market, and Stellantis is still struggling. They can't even get the Charger Daytona out when they said it was gonna come out in the summertime, and here it is, October, and you still don't really see any on dealership lots. The company's cost-cutting measures have also come at a time when its American brands like Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and Chrysler are all struggling to maintain market share. High prices, recalls, quality issues have driven away customers, and now Stellantis finds itself in a tough spot. The pressure is all mounting from all sides: labor unions, the government, and even consumers who are losing faith in the brand. I don't really think I know of any person who is thinking positive about the direction of this company within the next 5 years. Plenty of people think that Dodge is not even gonna be around in 5 years. I don't think nobody thinks Chrysler is gonna be around in 5 years. But perhaps the most significant development in all of this nonsense going on is a growing call for Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares to step down. Sean Fain isn't the only one calling for a change in leadership. There are growing murmurs around shareholders and industry leaders that Tavares may not be the right person to lead Stellantis through his turbulent time period. Now, it was already announced, I think a week or two ago, that he's basically gonna step down and retire in 2026. But honestly, this guy should be fired right now. This dude, every single thing he has done has made the company worse off. You put Tim Kniss in charge of Stellantis, I guarantee within 4 years, that company's gonna be fun. That company's gonna have a lot of joy to it again, and people like me are gonna come back to the brand. But with that guy around, especially for what, 2 more years, this company might be facing bankruptcy. But the company is also facing multiple crises under his leadership, from disastrous plant closures to like the mishandling of labor negotiations, and now with the UAW, now in the White House, and even international labor unions are calling for a change in leadership. It's starting to look like Tavares may be running out of time, which, like I said, he should be fired now. Like, nothing coming out is gonna make anyone want to jump back to this brand anytime soon. Like, and even I'm going to jump ship, because my D170 is probably gonna be the last vehicle I ever buy from this brand, because there's nothing coming out in the future that makes me want to buy anything. The dealerships, they're getting fed up. We're consumers getting fed up. The UAW is getting fed up with these guys. I mean, the UAW has made it clear that they see Tavares as a major obstacle to reaching a fair deal. And they even got pissed off with Mark Stewart doing negotiations where this guy was trying to negotiate from Mexico, not taking negotiations serious. It seems though the UAW now is not going to back down like they didn't last year for those stand-up strike stuff and their historic contracts they won. Now, if Stellantis wants to move forward and resolve these labor disputes, they may need to make some hard decisions at the very top. They may need to vote this guy out before he get a chance to retire. Like, honestly, I think if all these guys, including suppliers, all want Carlos Tavares to be gone, that guy better hand his resignation in. Cause like, could you imagine a massive boycott if literally every labor union who builds stuff for Stellantis all go on strike at the same exact time? Suppliers go on strike from Stellantis at the same time. We as consumers, we be like, we're not buying any products from Stellantis. Dealerships going like, we're not buying any vehicles from you guys. Imagine if the whole entire world went on strike at the same exact time to pressure Stellantis to get rid of this dude who has caused so much harm to thousands of people's livelihoods. Like, this guy literally fired tens of thousands of people every year since 2021, but lied about it in 2020 that this is a merger of equals. This merger was meant to save jobs. And then 4 years later, there's only a fraction amount of people who work for this company. I mean, where does Stellantis go from here? The company is facing a perfect storm of problems: labor strikes, lawsuits, plant closures, and the government is basically breathing down their neck. With the UAW ramping up its demands and the White House is urging Stellantis to honor its commitments, the company is in a precarious position. And with the CEO Carlos Tavares under fire from all sides, it's clear that the road ahead will not be easy as long as this guy's in charge. Can Stellantis turn things around, or are we witnessing the slow unraveling of one of the world's largest automakers who literally fell apart within 4 years of forming? 14 brands, and this company is struggling. This was supposed to be a merger of equals. This is supposed to be a company to save jobs. This is supposed to be like a giant powerhouse, and these guys are struggling within 4 years because you got one person at the top that does not understand one market. Will this company be able to navigate its labor disputes, the EV transition, and the financial struggles all at once? Or is this the beginning of a long, painful decline? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. And until the next time, I'm out.